Okay. So basically, it's my pleasure that I have you over here today. And
Oh,
congratulations once again on clearing your CFA Level 1 examination.
thank you
And
so much.
trust me, these 30 minutes are going to be very exciting. We will hear about your
Okay,
journey, your insights, which you can share with us. And
sure.
trust me, means doing CFA in 4 months' time, it's not only a luck, it's your hard work. And it's an
Thank you so much.
inspiration to others who are going towards the path of finance industry.
Right, definitely.
So we would like to know about you, who Neha is.
Right, sure. I'll just give a brief introduction about myself.
Yeah, yeah,
So my name is Neha Abraham. I am a graduating major at the American University of Sharjah. I'm in my final semester and I'm majoring in finance and minoring in data science. And the main reason why I wanted to pursue CFA in the first place was mainly because one of my seniors, Chavi, as you might have already known her,
yeah. She's
was
my student
basically
only.
exactly, yeah, she referred me to you as well. So she went through this whole journey of giving CFA while she was still studying, and I thought how inspirational that was, and I just thought of going ahead for it.
Got it, got it, got it. And previously, you have worked as well into the finance industry, right now.
Right, yeah.
So, and at present, you are doing your studies. Previously, you have worked in the industry. So, how you shifted from being an earning person and then again being a student?
Right. So in my university, it is a compulsory requirement for every student to have an internship, at least for 2 months, in any industry of their choosing. And since I'm a finance major, I was lucky enough to get an internship role at Emirates, which is
Okay.
an aviation industry in the UAE. And it was an incredible experience because every single concept I learned in the four walls of my classroom, I could immediately apply it in a practical world.
Correct.
So it definitely helped me to form a bridge or form a link between everything I was learning in my classroom, and it was a 2 month experience. It was very enriching, very inspirational, and it actually helped me connect a lot of things to my final semester. So, very complex concepts, financial statements, analyzing them, derivatives, everything became a bit more easier as I went on to my graduating semester.
So, let us understand very important point, which like students always have in their mind. Like, what are the
Okay.
challenges you have faced during this journey?
Okay, so one main challenge is basically time management because I remember registering for the CFA back in September and I could only start studying around December. But in October, I remember I could only study like 5 modules on the derivatives, and that was it because I had
Correct.
final submissions and projects. I remember the date also in which I studied in December. It was like December 11th because December 7th was the end of my final exam. Time management is definitely it because it is a very huge deal to cram 93 modules in a very short time span. And you also had to give good amount of time for practicing mocks and the second time of revision. Some modules were comparatively easier, but some modules such as financial statement analysis and derivatives, fixed income took a lot of your time. So prioritizing it was something that I had to learn very early on.
Got it. One personal question from my side. When you have
Sure.
given the exam, you have an idea that what will be the outcome. Okay.
Right.
Definitely every person have a mindset that okay, this will happen. I'll pass, I'll fail, that much I'll score. And when you
Right.
saw the result, was
Yeah.
it matching?
It was not matching because
Okay.
I was very heartbroken on the day I gave the exam. I thought it was really difficult. I think I had this conversation with you over
Yes,
WhatsApp
yes.
as well. I was very disappointed because I remember putting in so much effort, all those sleepless nights, trying to balance everything. And when I gave the exam, I was so taken aback at the difficulty of the exams. And I was sure that, it might not go the way I wanted. So I remember not sleeping the day before the results even came. And when I saw the results, I was extremely happy and taken aback. And yeah, that's when I messaged you with the report and everything. So yeah.
Basically, Neha, what happened now, even when I was a student and when other students, whenever we give the exam, now we feel like that no, it was not that good. And
Yeah.
we have given our best for everything. Even when I've given
Right.
my CFA level 2 exam, now I came home and I'll say, like, Papa, very rare chances I'll pass.
Yeah.
But I score above 70 percentile in all the subjects.
Oh, okay.
It happens. Means this question I've introduced because of our conversation the day you gave the exam and the day I got your result. That
Right.
we need to now balance our mindset. First of all, that okay, we have done our task. Now let it
Right.
happen. Let us leave it on the court. We have given our best.
Makes
So
sense.
never make yourself demotivated, and never do. You will not sleep before the result.
Yeah,
Take a complete rest. Whatever used to happen, that will happen.
makes sense.
Okay. Next question. How did you prepare for the exams? Any study techniques, resources you find most useful, helpful? Students will listen to your answers.
Sure. So I basically started my preparation around December, and I basically followed, I think, the exact same steps you had mentioned in the email. So first, I used to go through your lectures. The lectures are particularly helpful because it provided like real life examples and real life scenarios. And then I used to go to the Kaplan textbook and read that particular module itself. I used to highlight very important points and copy paste them into a Word document because I knew I didn't have enough time to go through the set textbook again during the second time of revision. So for every single module, I had a different Word document and I copy pasted the important points. And afterwards, I used to go to the CFA platform and solve the questions again. And once again, I knew I wouldn't have time to solve every single question. So I used to copy paste the questions I used to get a wrong answer in into a Word document as well. And around the second time of revision, I only went through the Word document. And I think that itself paid off a lot of effort towards the
Okay,
end.
so this is
I
something
also,
for the
yeah,
audience, preparing a Word document wherever
right,
you feel it's important or you are forgetting. Correct.
exactly. Yeah.
Move ahead.
I also made a formula sheet as well. For it contained around 100 plus formulas, and that is the only thing I referred to on the day of the exam. So in between sessions, when you have like 15 to 30 minutes, I only went through the formula sheet because there wasn't time for anything else. So it was really helpful towards the end.
Got it. Any other thing, any book like Kaplan book or the books of CFA Institute, anything?
CFA Institute, I only referred it for ethics alone because I felt like the case studies and the analysis and everything is very useful for the CFA textbook itself. But for every other module, I only referred to the Kaplan textbook, and I felt like that itself was very, very useful. It was a reduced and comprehensive version, so that helped a lot.
Okay. Third question, very important.
Yeah.
Means what actually motivated to go towards the CFA other than your senior who have recommended you,
Right.
than that, and how you think that you can take the benefit of this in your career from here for the next 5 years? How you can leverage it? You're
Makes
doing it, you
sense.
have invested your money, you have invested your time, efforts, everything. Now, how you'll
Right.
fetch the outcome out of it?
Makes sense. Apart from just my senior following her particular dream path or curriculum, one of the main reasons why I wanted to pursue the CFA was the credibility that comes with the professional qualification, considered as the gold standard in the finance industry. I knew that having um, just the name of CFA level 1 in your in your CV or your resume would make you stand out among every single person in the job who's actually currently pursuing a job. And in 5 years time, I know that I can particularly use it to leverage my skills. Having a degree but along with a professional qualification really makes you stand out in the eyes of an employer, and knowing that you have a good amount of skills from a very established institution will definitely make you climb up ladders where everyone else is just taking small steps. And hopefully I hope that is the same future for me.
Definitely, definitely. And any memorable event during the day you have given your examination?
During the day I gave my exam,
Anything?
I think I think it is the only observation I had, mainly because the day I gave the exam, I was completely wiped out. I was completely exhausted. Was that the first session was more harder than the second session? I don't know. I don't know if it's an observation for all students, but for me, I was completely demotivated because the first session was more harder. But the
Might be
second
because
session
of
was,
more of theory.
it could be because of theory. The second session had more numericals, more
Correct.
analytical problem solving. But yeah, that wasn't something I expected. I thought both the sessions would have equal level of difficulty, or that is my understanding. But yeah,
Correct.
that is one observation. Yeah.
Actually, what happens na students, what they feel now that when you are combining economics, when you are combining it with ethics and FSA, it will
Hmm.
become way too bulky.
Right.
And citing parts of the CFA like derivatives, portfolio, fixed income, they
Hmm.
are in the other part.
Right.
So
Makes sense.
student feel very bored, and when lots of theory will come in the beginning, na, they start feeling frustrated. But second part
Right.
is enjoying, that you are
Yeah,
enjoying,
it
you are doing
is.
the calculations. So that
Exactly.
happens. Any other than any observation or any other memory before just the exam started and just after the exam ended?
Well, before the exam started, I remember being completely anxious. I couldn't eat anything. I knew that I had to fill my stomach with something because it was a 5 hour exam. It wasn't really healthy to just sit through the exam just like that. But after the exam, I remember being completely relieved. It was like a huge rock just lifted off your chest. And I just gave everything to God. I mean, I'm pretty sure the amount of effort you put in, the amount of hard work you put in never goes to waste. And that is just it, honestly. That's the only thing I remember.
You are looking for your career in Dubai or abroad in the future? How you are looking outside Dubai or in Dubai?
Mostly in Dubai.
So how CFA is beneficial specifically with respect to Dubai? How much it is in demand?
Right, makes sense. The thing that I've mostly observed is that, especially the top four companies, especially in the accounting field, always look for people with professional qualifications, whether it's ACCA, CA, CFA, etc. And if you're a graduating student, if you simply graduated, you earned your bachelor's degree, but you also have a professional qualification, especially CFA. I remember during my internship, I asked one of my senior employees, my boss who was in charge, I asked him what his thoughts were of obtaining the CFA. And he told me that if a student at such a young age can actually pass level one, that actually is such a huge accomplishment in the eyes of employers. And even if you were working under them, they would actually gladly offer to pay for level two or level three based on how well you're performing. So there were also, I remember also on the day of the exam, I noticed so many older people in suits and professional
Correct.
attire. Yeah, and I realized that it wasn't only just students my age who were giving. It is a well-demanded professional qualification
Correct.
among much more people who are more established in the
I just
industry.
mentored 58-year
Yeah,
old fellow.
right. Yeah. So it was really surprising for me. I realized that it's not something that's, very well in demand among our age. It's something that goes on very well later on in life as well. So yeah,
So definitely you have surveyed the market of Dubai. Then
right.
how the people are paid after doing the CFA level on an average? Considering you only, suppose considering your experience, your education, how well
Right.
you are paid after clearing the CFA level 1 in Dubai?
Right. So I'm not sure of the exact numerical figure, but
Yeah,
what I
but
do know
on
is
an
that
average.
on an average, it's around per month. I think it should be 100,000 plus if you are way beyond in your curriculum and you've also have professional qualifications on your side. One thing I asked my senior employer was, if you have a professional qualification, you don't have to start from level one. You can immediately jump to like level four in their standing of qualifications. So if a student my age basically doesn't have a professional qualification, they have to start from scratch. They have to work as an intern and build their way up. But if someone has a very important qualification on their resume, they can skip so many different levels because the employer knows that you are suitable enough to take on higher challenges. So also that comes up with very good salary beneficials as well.
So it's 100,000 dirhams.
Hopefully, that's the thing. I don't know the exact number, but I do know that it's particularly
I think
higher
there is
than
some calculation mistake because if it is 1,000, 100,000, that means 1 lakh dirhams. 1 lakh dirhams means
could
somewhere
be.
around 20 lakh rupees per month. It's too huge.
No, that's too huge. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
100,000 is,
I think
yeah,
the
I'd have
figure
to
which
go
you are
through that
saying,
again.
it is going to be annual.
Could be annual. I'm
Yeah,
not exactly sure. Yeah.
it should be annual because if you are paying that much, now everyone could have run towards the
Could
CFA.
have CFA. Right.
Correct. Now, there are few students who are actually preparing for the CFA. So, any advice do you think you can give, considering you have cleared your CFA level 1 exam? Any type advice, recommendations from your side?
Time management is very, very, very important. That is something I had to properly go through in the beginning. And also the prioritization of the modules. I was very glad that I started with derivatives and FSA and fixed income in the beginning, because quants and portfolio management sort of helped me relax a bit towards the end. Knowing which modules are very important is very, very important, knowing the order in which you study. And don't ever underestimate ethics. This is something I had to learn it the hard way. I thought I could just study it towards the end, but no, you have to put in so much effort
Daily,
into
you have to solve
learning every
20,
single.
30 questions at least 1 month before the examination.
Right, right, definitely. Ethics is that one module that can either make or break your score. Honestly, that is such an
Yeah,
important module. But
definitely.
apart from that, yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself. I think I put too much pressure on myself right from the start. It makes you so anxious. It makes
See,
you,
actually, what happened now? First of all, you are investing so much,
yeah,
so pressure will come automatically. Means
Right.
the first and foremost thing which is there in the minds of the student is that, see, I have invested 1,20,000 rupees. Now I
Right.
have to do my best to crack the exam in the limited time
Exactly.
with everything what I'm doing. Might be I'm working, or might be I am a full-time college student.
Right.
The pressure is something which comes.
Automatically.
Now
Yeah.
you said you have to manage the time. Now everyone say manage your time properly, but no one says how.
How?
I'll
Okay.
say manage your time properly and do the classes, but I
Right.
haven't seen how. Now you tell me how, because you have managed your time well.
Right. The way I managed time was basically a bit more strict. I had to follow a very fixed and rigid schedule because I had less than 2 months, and I knew that if I had to crack the exam, I had to give it my best. So I remember waking up around 5:30, 5:40 in the morning, starting my preparation at 6:15. I used to spend roughly 3 to 4 hours per module, so it was 3 modules per day, and this 3 hours was for going through the lectures, reading the textbook, and solving the CFA problems as well. So but when it came to FSA, I could only do around 2 modules per day, and that was all I could do because of the vast content that was there under FSA. So I think allocating a strict time schedule, so 3 to 4 hours per module, making sure that you actually finish it every single day, but also giving yourself a good amount of breaks in between, because otherwise you're going to get completely, you're going to have a mental burnout towards the end.
Correct.
So I think that is one way people could actually
During
handle
that
it.
preparation time, are you managing your college studies as well, or only CFA?
So I was lucky enough to have my winter vacation the same time I started my CFA. So December
Got
11th was my last day of classes, and December 11th till January 27th was my winter vacation. So the entire 10 to 12 hours was basically only on CFA every single day.
Okay. And how these lectures made your journey easy?
The lectures made it easy because if you look at the Kaplan textbook, yes, it is a condensed version, but it could also be further condensed to some extent. So the lectures, in the sense, you're only sitting and listening to someone explain every single concept. And if you feel like something's important, you note it down in your notebook. But the lectures made the version even more condensed to an extent. I could actually understand the examples by just watching the lecture once or twice in a row. And when you read the textbook, everything falls into place. Every hard concept or keyword that you thought you couldn't really understand was much more easier. So it basically sort of makes it completely more easier to learn the concept.
Which subject or two or three subject which Neha actually find difficult? Out of 10,
Right.
definitely no one feel easy that I'm best with all 10. Everyone
Makes
have
sense.
some areas of weakness. So where Neha was weak.
I think while I was studying for the CFA exam, FSA was something that caught me off guard. FSA was something that I had to spend a lot of time, especially in the questions in the CFA. I couldn't even understand some of the questions while I was attempting them. It was only while attempting them for the second or third time I could actually grasp the concept itself. So FSA took a lot of my time. It was something that I had to sit and focus my attention to for a much more longer period than any other module combined.
Got it. And quants. I have seen out of 190 students, they feel the burden of quants. But you did not take
Okay.
in the name of the quants. Now, what's the
Right.
reason behind that?
I think once again I was lucky enough because majority of the concepts in quants was something I was learning in my classroom side by side. So
Got,
hypothesis testing, different modes of variation, central tendency was all things I either finished in my class or I was doing side by side. So I
got it.
think most people don't have that opportunity, but luckily I did. So it made it easier throughout the end.
So you have the leverage basically because of your classes, which is
Right.
helping you to prepare for the CFA.
Exactly.
Got it. And any other material which you have used during the preparation other than the CFA material, other than my lectures and Kalpan notes?
Absolutely nothing else. These were the
Absolutely.
two things that I completely focused
And
on.
trust
Yeah.
me, Neha, you did really right. Because what happened now, students in the beginning, what they will do now, they start collecting the material from these friends, those friends, keep these
Right.
books, these notes. And when they have so much, they cannot study anything.
Yeah.
It's good to stick with something and let us do it
Exactly.
with confidence, and you will
Yeah.
crack it very easily. So how's your reaction and your parents reaction after you got the results?
They were completely happy. I mean, we couldn't stop calling my relatives in India, my grandparents. It was just a very satisfying feeling knowing that your hard work was did repay off in the end. I told many of my friends, they were extremely happy for me. Going back to classes, seeing my professors, seeing their reaction, it all meant a lot. It all made sense towards the end. It's a very
So in
relieving
your
feeling.
group, anyone also have given the CFA examination, or it's only you?
It's only me in my group. Apart from me, the only person I know in my university is Chavi. So yeah,
Got it, got it. Only Indians are making the mark.
obviously.
Yeah, means I am teaching many students from Dubai, means even the localite of the Dubai. And trust me,
Oh,
they
okay.
find it so hard. And when I see my
Right.
Indian students, they do it so comfortably. I was like, we are doing it so well. I cannot tell anything. So yeah, you have given a lots of your time, and now you can
No
begin your
worries.
college studies. And best of luck for your CFA level 2 and your journey ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It really means a lot.
Thank you, Neha.
Thank you.